Okay, let's talk about different types of images. This one is probably really straightforward. I just like to handle it anyway. When you're doing a website, there's different combinations of images that can be used on the website. One are stock photos. These are ones that are just sort of you buy them, you can edit them, which is fine. So samples are like istockphoto.com, 123rf.com, Shutterstock. There's so many places where you can buy photos. The second type of graphics are custom graphics. And custom graphics are where, let's say you don't want to use stock photos and you want a designer to create all custom imagery for your website. So from scratch, from your imagination. Totally possible. But again, it's more expensive because now you need a designer to design everything. And then the third one is where you take a stock photo and let's say you Photoshop it and you change it. So this is not necessarily a custom graphic, but this is like editing a stock photo. And we've had this happen before where we want a client, they had this image, but they wanted a different background or they wanted a different overlay, and the guy in the stock photo had something on his shirt, so they wanted to like wipe that off his shirt. And it's fine, we can absolutely do that, but just so you know that the more design time you need, the more expensive your images are going to be. So as you're coming into your project thinking ahead, okay, am I okay with stock photos? Because some people are totally okay with that. Some people want completely custom graphics, which again is fine. And some people sort of want to mix of the two. And some people want your own images. So let's say that you have tons of stuff, like let's say you're a construction company and you have tons of work about renovation projects you've done and your team and your office, and you have your own photography. That's the best case scenario. Honestly, your own images, assuming they're good quality, high res, they're interesting, they're not blurry. Your own images are always the best way to go for stuff like for team page, services page, portfolio pages, things like that. So those are the four options, the four main options. I'm sure there's lots more, but just keeping in mind as you're going into design, how do you want to do your images? Because let's say, for example, you need custom graphics. Well, now you need to make sure the person you're hiring knows how to do custom graphics. And that's probably not the web designer. That's probably a graphic designer. So making sure that you may need to hire a graphic designer to do the graphics for you before you do bring in the web people. So there's like a sequence, right? So the graphic designer would do these custom graphics that will be used by the web designer, right? Or if you're hiring a team, making sure they have a graphic designer on the team who has experience creating custom graphics or infographics or photoshopping graphics or that kind of thing. So yeah, so definitely kind of start putting that in your head about how you want this to work. Generally, what normally clients will do is they just are okay with stock photos, but just you may not. So just making sure that you let the contractor know in advance is going to really help create clarity around pricing. I'll see you in the next video.